Have you always believed that eating fruit is good for your health, no matter how old you are? Well, what if I told you that some of the most common fruits in your kitchen might actually be quietly working against your body, especially if you're over 60? You see, our bodies change as we age. What worked wonders in our 30s might cause unexpected issues in our 70s. And while fruit is often seen as nature's healthiest gift, not all fruits are created equal, especially when medications, chronic health conditions, or slower digestion are involved. I'm Dr. Howard Jenkins. Over the past 35 years, I've had the honor of caring for thousands of older adults all across the country. And one thing I've learned is this: the food we eat can either be our greatest ally or a hidden danger. That includes fruit. In today's video, I'll walk you through 7 popular fruits that can be risky for older adults. Explain the science behind why they're potentially dangerous, and most importantly, offer safe, delicious alternatives that you can enjoy without worry. And yes, I'll also tell you the story of James, a 74-year-old retired electrician from Texas, who nearly lost his life because of something as seemingly innocent as eating 2 bananas a day. It's a story I've never forgotten, and I think it could help you, too. So stay with me, because this information might just change the way you see your breakfast table forever. Before we get started, I just want to take a moment to say hello and welcome. Where in the world are you watching from today? Feel free to leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you and get to know you better. And if you ever have questions about your health, your medication, or even just what to eat for dinner, don't hesitate to ask. I may not be sitting next to you, but I'm here with you every step of the way. And one more thing, if this is your first time here, or even if you've been with us for a while, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you won't miss any of our simple, practical tips made just for seniors. Let's stay strong, let's stay informed, and most of all, let's stay healthy, so we can enjoy every moment with the people we love. 1. Starfruit, the hidden neurotoxin most seniors don't know about. If you're over 60, chances are you're paying more attention to your diet, opting for foods that are gentle on the stomach, support digestion, and help you feel light and energized. Starfruit, a tropical fruit, has long been thought of as cooling, detoxifying, and beneficial for the kidneys. Many people soak it in salt water for drinking, or eat it fresh as a dessert after meals. But few know that behind its sweet and sour flavor, starfruit hides a neurotoxin called caramboxin. According to Mayo Clinic and WebMD, caramboxin is a naturally occurring neurotoxin that healthy kidneys can filter out. However, for seniors, especially those with reduced kidney function who may not even realize it, this toxin can accumulate in the body and affect the central nervous system. I've seen many elderly patients come into the clinic with unexplained confusion, mental fog, or dizziness. After asking a few simple questions, I discovered they had eaten just a few starfruits from their backyard trees. In more severe cases, some even experienced seizures and had to be hospitalized urgently. According to Cleveland Clinic, 1 in 3 seniors has reduced kidney function without even knowing it. That means eating starfruit, even just a slice, could be like slowly feeding your body a toxin that quietly attacks your memory, balance, and long-term health. An elderly man once told me that after eating 3 starfruits, he felt tingling in his hands and feet, followed by a strange dizziness, like being drunk. Thinking it was just fatigue, he went to lie down, but a few hours later, his family found him disoriented and unable to remember his grandchildren's names. At the hospital, doctors found temporary damage in brain areas related to memory and coordination, likely caused by caramboxin toxicity. What's heartbreaking is that many seniors continue eating starfruit, believing it to be healthy, cooling, cleansing, or helpful for digestion. Some even drink starfruit juice daily as a health tonic. But this is a dangerous misunderstanding. There are much safer options. For example, Asian pears. They're crisp, hydrating, and gentle on the kidneys. Or dragon fruit, which has high water content, is low in sugar, and rich in fiber, perfect for seniors with digestive issues or diabetes. I always remind my elderly patients, Just because a fruit is good for young people doesn't mean it's good for seniors. As we age, our liver, kidneys, and nervous system don't function like they used to. Every food choice needs to be thoughtful, not just based on folk wisdom or tradition, but grounded in medical understanding. 2. Grapes, sweet but surprisingly risky. Grapes, those tiny, juicy bites of sweetness we all love. Many people call them nature's candy, and that's exactly where the problem begins. You might be surprised to learn that just 1 cup of grapes, about 150 grams, contains as much sugar as 4 cubes of white sugar. According to analyses from WebMD and Healthline, this amount is enough to spike your blood sugar, especially if you're a senior managing diabetes or prediabetes. As we age, our bodies process sugar differently. Insulin becomes less efficient, and our cells respond more slowly. What might have been harmless in your 40s can now trigger rapid blood sugar spikes, leading to dizziness, fatigue, and even poor sleep. Over time, consistently high blood sugar levels can damage small blood vessels, particularly in the eyes, kidneys, and even the brain. But grapes also carry a hidden risk that often goes unnoticed: choking. According to Cleveland Clinic, our swallowing reflex weakens with age. The smooth, round shape of grapes makes them more likely to slide into the airway if not chewed thoroughly. I've personally treated multiple cases of choking caused by grapes. Families are always shocked. We never imagined something so small could be so dangerous. But in the elderly, it's not about the size of the food, it's about how the body handles it. So, what are safer, healthier options? Start with blueberries or raspberries. These berries are lower in sugar than grapes and are packed with antioxidants, compounds that support brain health. In fact, Healthline lists blueberries as one of the top foods to support memory, especially in seniors with mild cognitive decline. If you're craving something sweet and juicy, try melon cubes instead. When cut into small, manageable pieces, melons are easier to chew, safer to swallow, and give you better control over portion size. They also have a lower glycemic index than grapes, meaning they're less likely to spike your blood sugar. I always advise my older patients to choose fruits not just based on taste, but on long-term safety. A small change, like switching from grapes to blueberries, can be a powerful step toward better blood sugar control and a safer, more thoughtful diet. 3. Oranges, not as harmless as they seem. Oranges, packed with vitamin C bursting with juice, and long regarded as a healthy choice. But for older adults, this beloved fruit may come with a few hidden risks. According to Mayo Clinic and Harvard Health, oranges are highly acidic. For younger people, that's usually not an issue. But in seniors, especially those with acid reflux or sensitive stomachs, that acidity can trigger uncomfortable symptoms like heartburn, indigestion, and disrupted sleep. One of my patients, Margaret, 72 years old, used to drink a glass of orange juice every morning for over a decade. She believed it boosted her immune system. But over time, she began waking up at night with a burning sensation in her chest, and couldn't figure out why. After reviewing her diet, I asked her to stop drinking orange juice for just 2 weeks. The change was almost immediate. Her reflux settled down, and she began sleeping through the night again. Oranges also contain citric acid, a compound known to erode tooth enamel. In older adults, enamel is already thinner and more sensitive. Eating oranges regularly, especially on an empty stomach, can make teeth feel sore and more sensitive to hot or cold. Beyond stomach and dental issues, there's another concern: medication interactions. According to WebMD, compounds in oranges and orange juice can interfere with over 50 medications, including blood pressure drugs, antidepressants, and statins, used to lower cholesterol. These interactions can reduce a drug's effectiveness or cause side effects like dizziness, nausea, or dangerously low blood pressure. So, what can you eat instead? Red bell peppers may sound like an odd replacement, but according to Healthline, they actually contain more vitamin C than oranges, and without the acid. Whether eaten raw or gently steamed, they're easy on the stomach and don't trigger reflux. Kiwi is another smart option. It's rich in vitamin C, potassium, and fiber. What's more, kiwi contains natural enzymes that support digestion and help regulate bowel movements, a common issue for seniors. Unlike oranges, kiwis don't erode tooth enamel and are generally well tolerated by sensitive stomachs. Here's what I always remind my patients. Just because something is labeled healthy doesn't mean it's right for every stage of life. As we grow older, our bodies respond differently to foods. Oranges may be fine for a 30-year-old, but they can be problematic for someone in their 70s. 4. Avocados, the superfood that can sneak up on you. Avocados, smooth, creamy, and often labeled a superfood. Many of us were told they're good for the heart, packed with healthy fats, and ideal for aging bodies. But as I often remind my patients, even the healthiest foods can have a hidden side, especially as we grow older. Let's start with calories. A medium-sized avocado contains about 240 calories. That might not seem like much, but for seniors with a slower metabolism, it adds up quickly. At this stage in life, our bodies burn energy more slowly. We're less physically active, and muscle mass naturally declines. That means even small portions of calorie-dense foods can quietly lead to weight gain without you even noticing. And what does that extra weight do? It puts added pressure on joints that may already be worn from arthritis or aging. Hips, knees, ankles. These parts of the body carry us every day, and just 5 or 10 extra pounds can make a big difference. I've seen older patients struggle with mobility and even lose some independence simply because they unknowingly gained weight over time by eating healthy foods in excess. Next is something many people overlook. Vitamin K. Avocados are surprisingly high in this vitamin. While vitamin K has its benefits, like helping blood clot when we're injured, it can also be risky if you're on blood-thinning medications like warfarin. According to Mayo Clinic, too much vitamin K can interfere with the drug's effect, raising the risk of either blood clots or, ironically, uncontrolled bleeding. I've seen patients whose INR levels, a test that measures blood clotting, fluctuated wildly. And we traced it back to their daily avocado toast habit. There's also the issue of allergies. Avocados are part of the latex fruit syndrome. Seniors who are allergic to latex may also react to avocados, bananas, or chestnuts. These reactions aren't always dramatic. Sometimes, it's just tingling in the mouth, an upset stomach, or itchy skin. But in a weakened or reactive immune system, even small symptoms can become concerning. So what should you do? The answer isn't to eliminate avocados entirely, unless you've had a reaction. For most people, the key is portion control. Stick to 1/4 of an avocado per day. That gives you the heart-healthy fats without tipping the scale or interfering with medications. If you want similar benefits, like better cholesterol and brain support, without the complications, try olive oil. A tablespoon goes a long way in flavor and is rich in monounsaturated fats. Walnuts. A small handful contains omega-3s and antioxidants, excellent for brain and heart health. Almonds. Great for lowering bad cholesterol and improving blood sugar control, according to Harvard Health. As I often say to my patients, avocados are like medicine, powerful in small doses, but risky when overused. 5. Watermelon, the summer favorite that can overwhelm your body. Few things are more satisfying than a cold slice of watermelon on a hot summer day. It's sweet, juicy, and refreshing, everything you could want in a summer snack. For decades, watermelon has felt like a safe choice. After all, it's mostly water, right? Well, not exactly. Despite being made up of about 92% water, watermelon has a very high glycemic index. That means it breaks down into sugar rapidly once you eat it, raising your blood glucose faster than many other fruits. To put it simply, for your body, eating watermelon can feel a lot like drinking a sugary soda. This can be particularly dangerous for older adults living with prediabetes or diabetes. Healthline warns that foods with a high glycemic index can lead to blood sugar spikes followed by sudden crashes. That kind of up and down pattern leaves you feeling drained, dizzy, and foggy, and over time, It damages small blood vessels and nerves, particularly in the eyes, kidneys, and feet. Another concern? Potassium. Most people don't associate watermelon with potassium, but it's actually quite rich in this mineral. While potassium is essential for heart and nerve function, too much of it can be problematic, especially if your kidneys are not functioning at full capacity. According to Cleveland Clinic, many older adults have reduced kidney efficiency without knowing it. Their kidneys can't filter potassium as effectively. That leads to a condition called hyperkalemia, or too much potassium in the blood. The symptoms? Muscle weakness, irregular heartbeat, fatigue, and in serious cases, hospitalization. I remember one patient, Mr. Charles, a retired teacher who loved watermelon. During one particularly hot summer, he began eating a few large bowls of it every afternoon. At first, he felt fine, but over the weeks, his legs began swelling, and he found himself short of breath just walking across the room. When he came in, we discovered his potassium was dangerously high, and fluid had started building up in his lungs. He had no idea that something so refreshing could have such serious consequences. That's the tricky thing about watermelon. Because it feels light, we tend to eat it in large amounts. A small slice might be okay, but when you're eating 2 to 3 cups at once, you're taking in a heavy load of sugar and potassium, often without realizing it. So what can you enjoy instead? Try cucumber water with mint. It's hydrating, naturally cooling, and completely free of sugar or potassium overload. Just slice a cucumber, drop it into a jug of cold water, add a few mint leaves, and let it sit. It's a simple drink that supports digestion and gives you that fresh feeling on a warm day. Another great option is frozen berries, like strawberries, blueberries, or raspberries. These are not only refreshing when chilled, but also rich in antioxidants, lower in sugar, and easier on blood sugar levels. According to WebMD, berries support cognitive health and can even reduce inflammation, which is helpful for those with arthritis or heart conditions. Often, the foods we love are tied to our memories and emotions. Watermelon brings back picnics, family gatherings, and carefree summers. That nostalgia is powerful, but as we grow older, it's important to look at how our bodies are changing and make choices that match those changes. Instead of saying goodbye to the foods we love, we can learn to enjoy them differently. Smaller portions, better timing, thoughtful alternatives. 6. Papaya. Digestive aid or dangerous interference? Papaya is often praised as a gentle, healing fruit, especially when it comes to digestion. It's soft, easy to chew, and known for containing papain, a natural enzyme that helps break down protein. That's why many people in their 50s and 60s feel great adding it to their morning routines. But as we age into our 70s and beyond, papaya doesn't always play so nicely with the body. Let's begin with one of the most important concerns. Papaya can interact with blood thinners. According to Mayo Clinic and WebMD, the papain enzyme in papaya can increase the effects of anticoagulant medications like warfarin. It might not sound like a big deal, but in reality, it can be quite serious. If you're on blood thinners and eat papaya regularly, you might be unknowingly raising your risk of excessive bleeding. Some of my patients on blood thinners have come in with unexplained bruises, bleeding gums, or nosebleeds. After ruling out medication errors, we looked at their diets. In several cases, papaya turned out to be the common factor. They had been eating it daily, thinking it was a gentle digestive aid, not realizing its natural compounds were interfering with the stability of their medications. Another issue is blood sugar control. Papaya may seem like a smart choice for diabetics because it's lower in sugar than bananas or mangoes. But studies cited by Healthline suggest that for some people, especially those over 60, papaya can still cause unexpected spikes or dips in blood sugar. That's because insulin sensitivity tends to decline with age. Foods that felt safe a decade ago might no longer be processed the same way by your system. This shift often leads to symptoms like bloating, fatigue, or dizziness after meals. I've had older patients who swore papaya helped their digestion in their 50s, but by their 70s, they started feeling bloated, gassy, or simply uncomfortable after eating it. The fruit hasn't changed, but their digestive system has. Finally, we need to talk about allergies. Papaya can trigger allergic reactions in people with latex sensitivities. If you've ever reacted to latex gloves, rubber bands, or certain balloons, your body might also react to papaya. This condition is called latex fruit syndrome, and it's more common than most people think. According to Cleveland Clinic, symptoms can range from mild, itchy throat, rash, to severe, abdominal cramps, shortness of breath. So what are safer choices for supporting digestion? One of my top recommendations is plain Greek yogurt. It's packed with probiotics, the healthy bacteria that support gut balance. Unlike fruit enzymes, probiotics don't interfere with medications or spike blood sugar. They work gradually, helping improve regularity and gut health. Another gentle option is warm ginger tea. Ginger has long been used to soothe the stomach, reduce bloating, and ease nausea. According to Harvard Health, it may also lower inflammation and support smoother digestion, especially after meals. You don't have to give up papaya entirely, but it's important to reconsider how often and why it's showing up on your plate. A few bites occasionally? Likely fine. But eating it daily while managing medications or blood sugar? That might not be the best idea anymore. 7. Bananas. A healthy snack or a potassium overload? I want to share a story with you about James. James is 74. He lives in Texas, retired from his job as an electrician. He's the kind of man who takes pride in being independent. No medications, no doctors unless necessary, and a diet he called clean and natural. For years, James started his mornings the same way: 2 bananas, black coffee, and a walk around the yard. He believed those bananas were giving him the energy and potassium his body needed to stay strong. One summer morning, James was out mowing his lawn like always. But about halfway through, he started feeling dizzy and weak. Then he collapsed. His wife called 911, and James was rushed to the hospital. After tests, the doctors discovered the cause: dangerously high potassium levels, a condition known as hyperkalemia. It turns out James's kidneys weren't filtering potassium effectively anymore, a common issue as we age. The very fruit that once helped fuel his mornings was now threatening his heart. According to Mayo Clinic and WebMD, excess potassium can cause irregular heart rhythms, muscle weakness, fatigue, and even sudden cardiac events. Bananas are naturally high in potassium. One medium banana contains about 420 milligrams of it. That might not sound like much, but for seniors with reduced kidney function, even that can become too much. And James had been eating 2 bananas every day. That's over 800 milligrams, on top of whatever potassium was already in his diet. Since potassium builds up when the kidneys can't clear it well, it slowly reached a tipping point. His story isn't unique. In my practice, I've seen similar situations: older adults trying to eat healthfully, unknowingly taking in too much potassium. And it's not just bananas. Spinach, sweet potatoes, and even salt substitutes labeled heart healthy can be high in potassium too. Here's the part that makes this tricky. We've been told for years that bananas are the perfect snack. And they are, for many people. But for seniors, especially those with even mild kidney decline, too much potassium can turn into a serious medical issue. So what are the signs to watch out for? Tingling or numbness in the hands and feet. Irregular or fast heartbeats. Weakness, fatigue, or shortness of breath. Nausea or confusion. If you experience any of these, and you eat potassium-rich foods often, talk to your doctor. A simple blood test can check kidney function and potassium levels. Now, what are the safer options? If you like the texture and convenience of bananas, you might try apples. Low in potassium, high in fiber, and easy to digest. Pears. Gentle on the stomach and may help regulate cholesterol. Cooked apples with cinnamon, a warm, comforting dessert that's kidney-friendly. If you're looking for an energy boost, try steel-cut oats with berries. A handful of unsalted pumpkin seeds, offering magnesium and iron without the potassium overload. And remember, it's not that bananas are bad. They're just not ideal in large amounts. Especially if your kidney function isn't what it used to be. After his recovery, James told me, "I honestly thought I was doing everything right. I never expected fruit to land me in the ER." It's a powerful reminder. Even the healthiest choices need rethinking, as our bodies change with age. So here's the big picture. Yes, fruits are nature's gift, but our bodies aren't the same at 70 as they were at 30. The kidneys work a little slower. The stomach produces less acid. Blood sugar takes longer to stabilize. And medications? They interact with everything, from our meals to our snacks. That's not something to fear. It's something to understand. Because once we understand how our bodies change, we can make better choices. We don't have to give up fruit. We just need to choose smarter fruit, the ones that nourish without causing trouble. And let's be honest, we've spent our lives looking after others, our children, our families, our communities. Now, it's time to take care of ourselves with that same care and intention. Choosing blueberries instead of watermelon. Reaching for a few pear slices instead of a banana. These aren't sacrifices. They're upgrades, tailored for the wiser, more experienced version of ourselves. And here's something I've learned from years of practice. Health is never about one big moment. It's about the small decisions we make every single day. What we put on our plate. How we listen to our body. And when we choose to share what we've learned, so others can feel better too. So if anything in this video helped you, if you had a moment of, "Oh, that makes sense now," please share it with someone you care about. A friend, a neighbor, a family member. You might just save them from a hidden danger they never saw coming. And if you'd like to keep learning simple, science-backed health tips like this, from someone who's walked this road with thousands of patients, don't forget to tap that subscribe button. We're building a community here. A space where aging isn't about decline, but about doing things smarter, stronger, and more confidently. Because aging well isn't about giving things up. It's about choosing what works for you, at this stage in life. Thanks for being here. And remember, every bite is a choice. Let's choose the ones that help us heal, grow, and thrive.